Okay, so if you have a hair transplant clinic and you want to understand why you need to not spend any more money on ads until you fix these things, and you're trying to sign more clients, and you're trying to get more patients, more surgeries, and you're trying to get more out of your ads, I'm going to show you how to do that and what to do in this very short video. So let's say, for example, you have 1,000 inquiries and you've generated these from your ads, and then let's say, for example, they cost you, maybe $2,000. Just for example, you need to track all of these numbers. So from all these 1,000 inquiries, how many were contacted? Okay, so not only how many were contacted, how many were lost in this process. Okay, after you've looked at how many you've contacted, you want to look at how many you followed up with. And you want to look at different things. So you want to separate them. So you want to separate the people who you contact from people who are highly interested, and then people who are just browsing. Okay, so you're going to have two different lists: people who are highly interested and people who are browsing. So first you take the leads who are coming in through your ads, and then you're going to contact them all. You can do that with an automation, but then once you get people who reply, okay, once you get people who reply, then you want to take them on a conversation. You want to have a conversation with them to see where they are, what they want, what they're trying to achieve through this process, and what they're uncomfortable or insecure about currently, things like that, right? So you want to have a one-to-one conversation. You can't just let AI do it or an automation do it. You need the person to have an actual conversation with them. So have a real conversation with the patient, okay? And then let's say, for example, from these 1,000 inquiries, let's say you send out 1,000 automated messages. Yes, maybe only 400 will reply. So that leaves another 600 that you need to reach out to. So there should be a system in place to follow up with this 600. Okay, so you need to follow up with these people to try and get them to reply. And the aim is to try to get them to reply, because once you get them to reply, then you can hand over the conversation to a human, and then the human can have the conversation. So once you've done that, you're going to find people who are highly interested and people who are just browsing. The browsing people can go into another list, and then the highly interested people, you can focus on these people. Okay, and then you're going to have a human. Okay, a human will talk with the interested people, and then they're going to work with them one to one to see, how they can help them and how interested they are by basically scoring them on if they're qualified or not. If they're qualified, we're going to see out of, let's say, for example, we have 500 replies, and then we're going to see how many are qualified. Maybe only half are qualified. Okay, so if half are qualified, now the human needs to work very hard to make sure this 250 all get onto a consultation. So once they get onto a consultation, then obviously you're going to be able to get them closer to a surgery. But then it's someone's job. It's not this person's job, it's another person's job. So we're going to say a new person, it's their job to make sure these 250 people get on a consultation. Okay, so then you're going to track the numbers of how many people booked, or how many people booked a consultation. Okay, then that's going to lead you to finding out how many people showed up to the consultation. And then if you get people who are falling off here and then falling off here, you can have a look at the process here. You can have a look at the process here where you can see where people are falling off and why are they not showing up to the consultation. And then the next thing you're going to look at is how many paid deposits. So if you're going to send out an invoice or a payment link for someone to pay, and let's say they pay it, that's fantastic. You can contact them and get them to the surgery. But if they don't pay, then you need to figure out how you're going to follow up with them. So you need to follow up with them properly. Okay, so the way you're going to follow up, because what you're looking for money. You're looking to take some payment from them. So you need to follow up with different ways. You need to follow up with videos. you need to follow up with voice message, email, SMS, and it's going to be done on different days. For example, let's just say example, this isn't actually what to do, but day one follow-up will be sending them a video from one of the patient coordinators. Okay, then day three can be a quick voice message. Okay, then day four can be like SMS and email. Not day four, sorry, like more like day six, and then day 7, 8, 9. Day 9 can be another video, and then you get the point. Okay, so you're going to reach out with people, maybe 4, 5, 6 times to try and get the deposit. Okay, so after this, normally you're going to find at some point people are going to pay their deposit or they're going to get in contact with you. Okay, so then you're going to find from all these numbers how many have became surgeries. Okay, so the problem is, if this is the main point here, if you don't have this, let's say you don't have this, you don't have this, and you also don't have this system in place, and you don't have the right people to categorize the leads. Okay, if you don't have all these systems in place, then spending more money and spending, from 2,000 spending 20,000, or going from 20,000 to 50,000, you're just going to waste more money. Okay, so make sure you fix these things and you get these in place first. So you make sure you have these systems built. And if you need help, then I can help you. Just book a call with me in the bio and I can give you more information.